We have some breaking news. All Elite Wrestling has just made a very key signing to their roster, and we're going to talk about it right here, right now on DPW. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ango from Destination Pro Wrestling. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tango with Ango. And right here on DPW, I want to bring you guys some breaking news. There's a winter storm happening in Michigan, and honestly, this was just the perfect timing for AEW to get people talking because according to a new press release released online on social media, AEW has actually announced that they have signed an NJPW star. And quite honestly, I think this was a very good signing for the company, especially since they lost out on Killer Cross. Now, if you guys didn't know, AEW has been making strides when it comes to adding to their heavyweight division. I don't think this is really a secret. Obviously, signing Wardlow, who recently had a cage match against Cody Rhodes, which was pretty damn awesome, by the way. And then, of course, you have guys like Jake Hager, and then now you also can't forget about Jeff Cobb, who is currently technically a free agent, but he is working with AEW on a per appearance type of thing. And now we know that AEW has officially signed Lance Archer from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, me personally, I am really geeked about this signing. I think Lance Archer has done a fantastic job in Japan. I think when we saw him take control of the US Championship belt, that was obviously vacated by Jon Moxley this past year. I thought we saw a lot of cool things from Lance Archer in the sense of his character development and his ability to really stand out as a guy in Japan. And because he was able to stand out in Japan, I think it was no secret that he was going to finally get some really nice national television exposure. And that is clearly why he signed with AEW. Now, what's really, really nice about this signing is, honestly, there's quite a bit. So I kind of want to break it down. For one, AEW needed more heavyweights. And when you look at the roster, there are a lot of guys on the roster who can move very quickly. They can do a lot of awesome spots. Wrestling is not an issue for this company. It's literally really incredible stuff when you watch some of these wrestling matches. And in my previous video, I kind of talked a little bit about how AEW consistently week in and week out, they have been getting so much better at story development and storytelling in general, to the point where the good wrestling that's happening every Wednesday night on Dynamite is it's prominent, right? Like the wrestling that you see, the in-ring stuff is very prominent to the storytelling, but it's nice because they're starting to develop some characters. And I think when you add Lance Archer to the mix, it is a very, very cool dynamic, especially when you consider that AEW for quite some time has also been rumored to sign Luke Harper. So adding big guys like Lance Archer makes up for the fact that there's not too many of them. There's not too many Lance Archers in AEW right now. There's no guys with his kind of physique or wrestling style that are on the roster. And I think when you add somebody like him, it is going to make him stand out on television. When you look at that heavyweight division, it is pretty thin, but as it goes on, we're starting to see more signings. And this one right here just really makes all the sense in the world. Now, what was really interesting is recently Lance Archer was teasing on social media whether he would sign with Impact, ROH, WWE, NXT, or AEW. And rumors out there for a while suggested that he would sign to AEW. And I originally wanted to talk about it on this channel, but these rumors that were out there, a lot of the speculation that was out there was that there was a chance that he wasn't actually going to sign to AEW. So seeing that AEW, seeing the fact that All Elite Wrestling has actually come out and made this announcement is really awesome because, not only do we have all the reasons I mentioned before, but now we have All Elite Wrestling really looking at some of the things that fans have been talking about. And that's why this video is so important to me as a creator, because I really want to talk about AEW and their ability to listen to what the fans want. Lance Archer is not a big name like Brock Lesnar. He's not even a big name like Jon Moxley. But when you see the ability that he has in the ring and everything from his mannerisms, his expressions, to his actual physical ability as an athlete, you've been asking for this. As fans, we have been asking for this. We have been asking AEW to do a little bit more than just what we see in PWG and in the indies. And I think that is what's so incredible about this signing. Lance Archer could potentially become a big name in AEW. I think I always go back to when Lance Archer, before AEW, before New Japan, a really good talent, but couldn't really stand out amongst the rosters he was in. And when you look at this roster, he's definitely going to stand out. And I think that is what's really, really interesting here. Lance Archer, of course, could become a very, very big heel in the company. But right now, there is an issue with AEW, and that is they have too many heels. So I think the idea of adding Lance Archer to the company, as a heel, you're going to have to do something very similar to what we have seen with MJF, right? And when I say this, I talk more in the sense of the fans truly hating the heel. Chris Jericho, for example, plays a heel, but people are singing his entrance song throughout his entrance. And while he is a very cool heel, there's nothing heelish about him. And I think this is where Lance Archer coming into place as a heel would make a lot of sense, despite the fact that there are a ton of heel characters in the company. I think him being implemented into AEW as a heel that is actually going to be hated is going to work to their benefit. There also were some rumors that Killer Elite Squad as a tag team could be in AEW at some point. While I currently love the tag team division in AEW, I know they've been listening to fans. I know that the mid card is something that's possibly being implemented as well, as far as like a title goes. I don't want to see Lance Archer rekindle that flame. Killer Elite Squad always will be hands down one of the coolest tag teams to watch. But at the same time too, there are so many tag teams in wrestling, let alone AEW. So I think despite the rumors of Killer Elite Squad being a tag team in AEW, it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. But if the rumors are true and it eventually does happen, I would like to see Lance Archer become a main staple in this company. One matchup in particular that I'm actually very excited for would be the possibility of having Luke Harper, Luchasaurus, and obviously Lance Archer being somehow in the mix. I don't know if you would do a triple threat. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. But the idea of these three guys potentially having one-on-one feuds with each other, it's just going to create a little bit of a dynamic that is going to be needed for AEW. I think it's going to be important for AEW to have guys like this stand out, and I think that's what Luke Harper and Lance Archer could do. So obviously, once we find out whether or not Luke Harper actually debuts for AEW, which at this point it is expected to happen very, very soon, the rumors, the news, everything is coming out pretty imminently. I think when you look at these three guys in particular, Luchasaurus, which if you guys didn't know, he used to go by Judas Draven in NXT back in the day. When you look at a guy like him or Luke Harper or Lance Archer, you have three big guys who can move pretty well in the ring. And on top of that, they're going to be able to do some storytelling. It's just one of the very most important parts of AEW that they need to get established. It's having something that is different. The tag team division is awesome. People don't like Marco Stunt because he looks young and he's small. But ultimately, it's something different. And that is important. So I honestly just can't wait to see what happens. I'm glad that they've made this announcement. I'm glad that we're going to see Lance Archer in AEW. And honestly, I hope the fans are ready for this. I think they're in for a treat, and I think AEW is going to do something really, really cool with him. I think right now with the heavyweight division and the World Championship in particular being kind of crowded, I think this is the guy you could build the mid-card around for a while until you're ready to move him up. And I think once you do that as a company, that's going to be really exciting television. I think consistently it's going to make a lot of sense as to why AEW continues to do so well on Wednesday nights on Dynamite. And I think, it's really important here that WWE gets it well, or gets it done very well with Killer Kross, because Killer Kross was somebody who was rumored to go to All Elite Wrestling. AEW missed out on that opportunity, and I think this is kind of like a response to that. Now, whether or not it actually is, time will tell, but how they handle the character of Lance Archer will truly be important, and I can't wait to see what happens. So ultimately, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, that's the place for you guys to let us know how you feel. Thank you guys so much for being so incredible, so supportive of the channel, liking, commenting, subscribing, all these awesome things that help DPW grow. Because of you guys, we're growing every single day. Even if I'm inactive, I check my YouTube statistics, and I try to make videos as much as I can. A couple circumstances kind of got brought up where I just kind of couldn't do it, but I'm going to do my best to be consistent, and, we'll see what happens from there. So Guys, it's your boy Ango at Tango with Ango on Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to follow me and stay up to date with everything that I'm doing. And then, of course, you guys can stay subscribed here for the latest in pro wrestling news, rumors, and all that good stuff. A lot of cool stuff coming to the channel, guys. Don't be a loser. Click that subscribe button and be cool. Be cool. Yeah, that's right. Be cool. You know, become elite by subscribing to Destination Pro Wrestling. All right, guys. It's your boy Ango, and I'll see you next time.